Alright, hello and welcome to chapter 255 of my streaming adventure. Earlier this week, I saw Phil Gallagher over at TheRelaxedMovement streaming a mashup between 8cast and Blue Painter, and I thought that sounded right up my alley. I enjoyed watching him play through his league, which you can see over on his YouTube channel. But it was something that I thought, I like 8cast, I like Painter, why not put the chocolate and the peanut butter together and try it myself? So that is what I have for you today. What things that you might mention, or sorry, things that I would like to mention that you might notice today. I am trying something new with a little bit of background music. If it is too loud, let me know. If it's too quiet, let me know. You can also give feedback later on YouTube. It's something that I tend to have dead air every once in a while, and I wanted to at least give there something going on in the background. So that's kind of my idea there. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Mana Traders. Mana Traders allows me to play all these different decks that I do. If you look all the way up there at the top of the screen, you can see the code you can sign up using my jpinter_HK2. It'll give you a little bit of a discount, and it will help support me, and I really do appreciate that. Otherwise, I think you can put !Mana Traders in the chat, and it'll pull up my referral link, or you'll see it scroll by in the MTG bot stuff. Also, shout out to The Swish Gaming. You can find our Discord, where we unlock a little bit extra benefits for Twitch or Patreon subscribers, as well as our content later goes up on YouTube. We actually stream on YouTube and Twitch together at the same time, but you can find our older content there if you miss it live. And if you're over there watching right now, thank you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and give us a comment and tell us what you like and what you don't like, and maybe we can do a little bit better. All right. With that, the deck itself is pretty straightforward. It's not truly 8cast. It's more like 6cast. Trimmed a couple of the thought monitors. I mean, overall, you're still going to be able to do a lot of the same powerful things. One thing I did change from the sideboard. There are some matchups where Chalice of the Void is just a good card to have. And I considered all the extra Blue Blast and Hydro Blast instead. Because I owned one, I threw it in, and then I put in the Chalice of the Voids in the sideboard. So we'll see if those are ever relevant to come up, but if not, I don't know. I feel like I'm willing to give it a shot. So with that, let's go ahead and hop into a league. All right. Cheers to you. Found an opponent already? We'll giddy up. Playing against the entire continent of Antarctica. So this doesn't have... Now, Urza Saga turns into Grindstone. And with the mana, we can play a Painter's Servant. It depends on what they are, but I feel like this is able to be kept. I guess we'll find out. I could simply play a Saga, see what they choose to do, follow up with Ancient Tomb, and generate constructs. I think I'm okay doing that. They seem to be okay, sitting around doing nothing. Alright, well that'll be the beginning of our construct chain. And then the question will be... I don't think we have a Pithing Needle in the main. No Pithing Needle main, but we do have Soul Guide Lantern as a main. It's a cool island. Island is cooler than that one. Expressive Iteration. I mean, I think we have to just let that happen. Not sure, or not guaranteed that they're on Blue-Red Delver. But it's possible. All right. Start to generate constructs. Spellbomb, Grindstone, Petals, Mox Opal. If it were to find a Mox Opal and we play a Seat of the Synod, certainly, or quickly, they're already up to 4/4s, and we can try to get them bigger. All right, already up to 5/5s. Let's go aggro. Now, because I don't necessarily have anything in the graveyard worth rebuying, I would rather be able to force and have days payable. That's my thought behind not playing out the Emery. The Emery could almost be fodder here. They do have white. All right, so they are forcing back. I think I let that go. Well, I mean, I kind of have to let it go. I don't really get a choice there. But I expected that. They'll spend the turn bouncing on one of them. So this is Jeskai. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I definitely meant to play the Saga. I'm not sure exactly why I played the island. Well, bravo there. Okay. Take the opportunity to swing in here. Put the pressure on them. See how that works out. They currently don't have mana with which to even fight the Cannoneer. But this is 100% a misplay. We should have had an Urza Saga in play, not that basic island. I was going to say, could they possibly have Wrath? They could have Wrath off the Flooded Strand. Supreme Verdict. Okay, here comes Swords. Swords, pay the wards. Alright, can I get 2 artifacts? Unfortunately, this is giving away what I have going on. We'll attack in for 6. I guess, could they have pitch? What is the white card that I'm not thinking of? Okay, they did not. Well, with what we did see, Pithy Needle to mess with Teferi. Now, I don't know necessarily that they are Hull Breacher Echo style. They could very well be. We saw Swords to Plowshares. We didn't see Brainstorm Ponder. What's the white prismatic ending? We didn't see any of those things. It doesn't mean they don't have those things, right? So part of the question is as well, is simple 8 cast good enough to beat that style deck? Or do I need to be combo-rific? And, I mean, the combo itself is really only 7 spots, right? So I could decide to say I'm going to lean more heavily towards trying to turbo my Kappa Cannoneer and have these other effects. I mean, at the same time, things like Spellbomb, Soul Guide Lantern, like, they're more likely to have... Soul Guide Lantern might not be... They're unlikely to have Snapcaster. My point being, if the type of things I want to do line up with... I guess, what cards do I really want, though? Are they going to have Ruination? They do, but they maybe don't bring it in against me. They'd have Meltdown, things like that. So how do I fight those? And then once the Teferi hits, if I can't get rid of the Teferi, having more counter magic doesn't necessarily help me. I guess that could be what this Brazen Borrower is, right? So then it's just, okay, I trim a couple of these. I'm allowed to keep the Painter Grindstone combo. They did see it, so maybe they'll react to it, but... I'll trim one. They might also be able to better react to Urza Saga, because we used that. That was part of our game plan. Alright, they're keeping 7. Again, we don't have a quick play. Last time our quick play was like going the Saga route. I guess this can do that again, so maybe we do keep it. This still has the Saga Tomb build-up. So that's an alternative. Go for a quick Emery. It takes away my ability to have Force of Will, though. I feel like I would rather be pressuring than not. Petal, Grindstone, Monitor, and an Opal. Okay. Plains has been revealed. I cashed in the bauble when I did for the ability to have an extra blue card. Not that necessarily that was the turn where the blue card mattered. Pyroblast, okay. So we found an ancient tomb. We can start to get Saga online. Maybe add a couple extra. Show me more secrets. Okay, Meltdown is indeed here. Is Meltdown enticing on this board? It takes out 2 cards, and it makes the Saga look foolish. Show me your secrets. Flooded Strand coming. Once again, trying to dig for the extra blue card. Alright, that Flooded Strand will not be joining their hand. Main phase Brainstorm. No fetch to follow up. Taps 2 planes, untaps 2 planes. Not sure what that entailed. Curious. Alright. Well, I will oblige them. So this is interesting. I'm going to go this approach. If this resolves, it gets me my blue card. All right. So, I mean, while they could have Pyroblast, it means I have powered up my Force of Will. And really, all I have to do is untap to kill. Is where I currently sit. Well, darn it. Yep, that's a good one. Wah, wah. All right. Proactive Pithy Needle. No. I also forgot about Otawara. So, a little greedy, overcommitting there when I didn't need to. Potentially, if I would have just gone Seat Pithy Needle to get a plus, would have just been better for me. Energy Flux. Generally pretty bad for me. All right. So I have hard cast Force of Will here, or I have pitch cast Force of Will. Doing a lot of damage to myself in the process. Prismatic Ending. I'm curious about being proactive with the Pithy Needle, but it just doesn't seem worthwhile. I keep looking to see whether they shuffled or not with Ponder, but that's not how that card works. Okay, they did not choose to get the card out of it. Therefore, I feel okay kind of going after it. However, the turning off my ability to counter play once the Teferi effect is in play. They do have Snapcaster. This could just be control. Going for Meltdown. Well, unfortunately, that's something I can't fight. And I'm going to lose 2 cards. They still are choosing not to get the card advantage out of it. Yeah. I think it is worth more to have time in the third game when I can't really affect what's going on over there. So, they do have a lot of Haymaker effects. Perhaps that's worth having negation. Excuse me. Can I trim? Shadow Spear seems like I don't need it as much as having Soul Guide Lantern to mess with something. What about blue cards? 2, 6, 14, 21, 22. However, Painter Servant turning that on. Alright. Game 3. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn to Kappa Cannoneer. And hope. It's 1 to draw a card. There we go. Now, here's a better question. Do I go for it, or do I get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4? So the reduction is 4. I'd have to pay 3 mana for this. I kind of think I'd rather get the velocity of the extra cards. Now, they might just have Pyroblast here, right? Okay. So, had I gone for Kappa Cannoneer, they Pyroblast, and I force a will back, I feel like that could be a little bit worse shape for me. Unfortunately, say they set up a Meltdown, I would have to lose my card anyway. Meltdown for 0. No, but representing another Pyroblast. How about another blue card for old time's sake? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So thinking about it now, I really, really, really should have played that Mishra's Bauble after the fact. Alright, so we know they picked up a Supreme Verdict, but can we race them getting to the mana for it? There's one of it. Thoughts here include cycling the Soul Guide Lantern. Expressive Iteration, unfortunately, I can't do anything about. To answer that, Zyphon, wouldn't they need a bunch of turns? Not necessarily. It could be part of the reason they kept the hand. You know, things like that. So knowing the Wrath is likely to happen, what did Expressive Iteration exile the land? I mean, I guess I can just be happy with that. And then depending on how things go here, I could have 2 counterspells as long as they don't have Alright, what are they going to force? Force Exiling Snapcaster Mage. Force again. Okay, they're currently at 11. So that gets me to 7, would put them at 4. I play Painter's Servant. I attack them down to 3, but then this is that overcommitting like we were talking about, right? So let's just attack. See what they have coming up. They have a Prismatic Vista. So they will be able to get the Kappa Cannoneer, but it's going to pain them to do so. Vista, cracked, plains. Wrath. Three cards left for them. Make everything red. The main reason I'm doing that is for the Blue Elemental Blast in my deck. If I make everything blue, Pyroblast becomes better as an option for them. Had I done nothing, I could have tapped it all to force it to Fairy. Might have been good enough. Try again. They are at 3. This is an effort to turn off, you know, fetch lands, things like that. Yikes. Yikes. Monastery Mentor is a hell of a card. I mean, I guess this is a side effect. That I get to have a Force of Will in hand that I can't cast. Sure. Opponent is on 3-drop Tribal from what I can see. Energy Fluxes, back to basics to Fairies, Monastery Mentors. I was gonna say, so you're saying there's a chance. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3. It's not much of a chance. I like this. Take 4. So I die to so many things. I die to a cantrip. I don't die to plane cycling. Plane cycled for a tundra. Untap play island. It's bold. It's a bold move. Beginning of combat. No combat. Get a large creature. Now, unfortunately, the Saga has not untapped, so I can't go back in on it. But we could get... We don't have the Aether Spellbomb. We could get Grindstone. Paying cost. Pyroblast. Opponent potentially not realizing you're allowed to just Pyroblast whatever you want. And could have killed me the prior turn. This is where the trample that I said is not relevant. Oh, you don't need trample. It would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wouldn't have gotten through. I just think it's... Oh, no. It would have been an 8-8. I could have cleared everything on their side of the board. Too sad. I think maybe, once again, they've realized that they are allowed to cast Pyroblast on anything they want. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here. We're going to try to mill them out. We're hoping for 33 of the same colored card. Big bucks, no whammies. They're playing Ruination. I mean, I meant it as a joke, but apparently they decided to go with it. What do you want me to say? Maybe I needed to sideboard harder going into that. Maybe that's what it was. I needed to sideboard harder. I'll live with that. All right, starting with a loss. Match number 2. Maybe match number 2? Question mark? Hey, Zyphon, sound check for me. How loud is the music in the background? Can you even tell there's music in the background, or is it too loud? Oh, we failed our league matchmaking, so we'll have to try again. Perhaps our opponent started a new league and knew it was us. Maybe that's not true, but... All right, try again. Oh, come on. Why are we getting matchmaking fails? Okay. We have won the die roll. I got Sagas. We got a game plan here. So my thought here, they're keeping 7. Show me what you're working with. Crap! Oh no! Well, honestly, it does make me think we got to go a little bit harder and try to double draw into maybe Force Will blue card. Either they have to, or you showed me the same one twice. Either way, feels a little dirty. Swamp Dark Ritual. Brainstorm. So now those Dark Rituals could just be a lie. I guess it depends where they go. And whether they want the cards. That's the funny thing about Grindstone. You can... I don't know what to say. Oh, maybe they cashed in their only source on a Brainstorm and missed on lands. Okay. Well, knowing now, I think I want... these surgicals, these forces, and these chalices. And I think things like Spellbomb, Shadow Spear. I think I still want Force, but maybe this is a case where we take the combo out, even though they conceded to the combo, and just try to be the 8 cast half of it with more counter... Oh, I could have another Force Negation. By having more counter spells, chalices. Would I rather have Surgical Extraction or a Force? I'd rather have just one Surgical Extraction, because we still have Soul Guide Lantern. I don't even know if Soul Guide Lantern is relevant, though. Maybe I'd rather this be a Surgical Extraction. Why do I want a Surgical Extraction? Give me a Brazen Bower or some random hate card I'm not even thinking of. And Pithing Needle for... Now, could they have like Collect Roof and stuff? That would suck. Pithing Needle for a fetch land. There we go. Lotus Petal, Brainstorm, Double Dark Ritual. I believe they are Storm. I don't have a Force, but I have the ability to play a Chalice of the Void, and that I'm going to keep. Leyline of the Void's a good one. Which we could eventually Otawara or whatever as we need to. Okay, goodbye Chalice of the Void. I mean, based on this, there's no way they play Force of Vigor, right? I can't imagine. Force of Vigor would seem way too bold. Okay. I'm going to play an Ancient Tomb. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to make Construct. Okay. All right. So I draw a Force of Negation, which is awesome. So based on that, I could make another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could float here. One. Get an artifact. Have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we'll search up our Mox Opal. I'll play a land. I have 1, 2, 3. So this would cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now have 4 artifacts. Thoughtcast costs a single blue. Add Mishra's Bauble. One, two, three. Okay. And show me what you're working with. Arc Light Phoenix. Okay. I'm now thinking Buried Alive. Buried Alive, Witherbloom. Okay. So they've drawn Arclight Phoenix, but they need to be able to 3 or more instant or sorceries. They had already played the land. That's also why I felt a little bit okay going for that. One, two, three, 4. God, what lands do they play in their deck? I have no idea. I know this doesn't work, but I'm going to name Chain of Smog. I know it doesn't work. I'm just saying. I know it doesn't work. I want the unblockable. I mean, that'll do, pig. Coming for 14. And have hard cast, force of negation ready to go. Well, now we know why they scooped in the first game. They're not Storm. Okay. And we already have our artifact locked and loaded for unblockable next turn. I would have named a black. With everything they're doing, I would have named a black fetch land. I would have named Polluted Delta. Don't lie to yourself. All right. Got a win after all. Way to go, us. Wow, moving a little bit quicker today. All right, what is this? This is not good. What is this? This is turn 2 kill. They have kept 6. I'll keep. And yeah, this is a turn 2 kill. So I'm going to throw away Urza's Bauble so that Emery could be our backup plan to rebuy. Who plays basic Swamp? They appear to have yielded. Go. Wasteland? That's like cheating. All right, come on. Literally any land. Okay, this at least lets us use Lotus Petal, replay Lotus Petal next turn. How can they stop us now? Swords. Blue. Blue. In our draw step, something's happening. Okay. Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost. Show me cards in your hand. I think that might matter more. Dothy Voidwalker, therefore. Oh, there we go. So, No, thank you. All right. Is this a fatal push? All right. They did. Quick, quick. They did not concede, so we get to see what they're doing. Black, white. Ooh. Splashing red for Hidetsugu. So it's like Mardu. Okay. Opponent should probably not let us have seen that. So Mardu Blade. So their red is Hidetsugu. From what we saw. They're gonna have artifact things that maybe we need. Bring in a little bit of removal. Now they had plenty of removal. We might need to focus on the Kappa game plan to try to get more power faster. I like Brazen Borrower. It's probably too much of a crutch, but I really do like Brazen Borrower. They have discard? When we were looking at their entire deck, why did we not screenshot it so we would know in key points like this whether they had... They have to have discard to be able to do the Dothy Voidwalker, make you discard something. I don't know, I was just thinking, like, does it make sense to do chalices? Yeah. I think we keep Spellbomb. I think we keep this as a way to grind. This is a way to get rid of the other guy. Dothy is a reason to trim one of those. I feel like there might be a lot of attrition. Would I rather have a Force or an Urza's Bauble? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's an Urza's Bauble. I guess perhaps... Okay. Is this... I mean, it's a pretty quick Emery. Okay. Upkeep. Oh, I was going to say, oh, you don't have it yet. But yes, I do because of this. Swords on the stack. I think I'm not going to cash in the bauble because, was that just a fake out? That's funny. 1, 2, 3, 4. Replay 5. We just need to find... This is scary. Okay. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. They have white remain. Give me a Mishra's Bubble. Okay, cast this. 1 blue. Improvise, 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 improvise. Turtle Man! Okay. So, I'm going to say as long as I can play an artifact next turn, which I can. Is this Hidetsugu? I mean, it's bad for me, but it's not the end of the world. So, what do I want? I feel like Shadow Spear probably puts things out of a lot of reach. Now, what's interesting is I could cash in these baubles to try to get a lot more. And maybe, really, I should have just gone for the Painter kill, but I'm not entirely sure how they stop that. I mean, I don't have lands anymore, so that's certainly problematic, but I have the ability to cash all of these into mana, or I should say, cash all these into cards. Just get a Stoneforge. Oh, I should have responded with the baubles, because you know it's just going to show me. Show me Culture Complete. Meltdown. Do we get to know the whole hand? Swords, Meltdown, Cauldron Complete, huh? What are they drawing, too? Jit, that's funny. No, we are in draw mode. I'll draw 4, it's cool. Two, 3, 4. Trigger. 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 That's 11. They could still swords their own creature. That's funny. Got him. Alright, that felt good. Mardu something or other. Once again, want to shout out Thraben U, Phil Gallagher. You can find him on the Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that. I watched his video over on YouTube. Inspired this. I did change a couple sideboard cards, but also shout out to The Swish Gaming. You can find the Discord a little bit above there in the chat. Come join the fun. And if you're a Patreon or a Twitch sub, you get to unlock some areas. Martin Medmitten. We won the die roll. So we're kind of far away. We don't have the quick saga. If this were Painter's Servant and this is fetching me Grindstone, I might be a little bit more happy about it. They are keeping 7. Okay. One, 3. I mean, it's turn 2 Thoughtcast. And see where it goes from there with 3 redraws. I don't necessarily want to play... I'm going to say, we throw all the baubles out there and who knows what they could do. Have a turn 1 exile the stuff. That's really annoying. Welcome to the chat, new viewer. I mean, I guess it's reasonable to assume that I'm going to have more zeros, but it's really interesting to not play it. What is this? What plays Talisman of Dominance? Are we going to get Thassa's Oracle? That'd be cool. I will allow Thassa's Oracle. Good old Impulse. Does Chalice on their side make me change anything on my side? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Touch short. I can't even mill them. That's what sucks. Are they High Tide? Why would High Tide play Talisman of Dominance? There's the Thassa's main deck. Mystical Dispute. Well, there you go. Okay, so we definitely have Thassa's Oracle shenanigans going on. I love how we don't have 3 mana for Grindstone to really mess with them. What is Mystical? Multiple of those, okay. They're just going for it. Well, we'll at least get to see everything going on. This is their upkeep. Do they know that? They impulsed. I forgot they impulsed. Did they forget they impulsed? Okay. That's a snapshot. You got it. Did they already pay the cumulative upkeep too? They didn't like forget the cumulative upkeep, right? No, that was their draw step. That's a winner. What is the black for? The black has to be for sideboard cards. What is this? Oracle combo. So, I guess they had stuff exiled, but that wouldn't necessarily work. We could Pithy Needle, Pithy Needle on the Thought Lash itself. I don't know. I find that funny. So, Soul Guide Lantern, Shadow Spear, Spellbomb out. Surgical, Pithy. What I'm missing, my good old standby, what I'm missing is Engineered Explosives. So I copied the list. I'm not playing Engineered Explosives, and Engineered Explosives is one I always like with to mess with the opponent's Chalices of the Void and stuff like that. That's what I'm missing. Use this in response to bounce the Jace that has the static effect that you win the game. I'm deep in the tank here, not gonna lie. Do I focus on combo? They've seen the Grindstone. Maybe I trim some of that. We can still keep some. I could play my deck more like a combo deck. Approach it that way. One, two, three. And then turn 2 Thoughtcast. The reason he did, Steve, is that he had impulsed, and I believe the impulse, he knew the Oracle was on the bottom. So he had to clear everything to get to the Oracle. Alright, so this currently costs 2 mana. Okay. Keep this one. That'll do. This isn't great, but it's something. You got it. One, two, three, four. Alright, so we're going to leave up hard cast Force Negation And if they don't do anything, I think I'm going to mill them. At least here. Actually can't do anything to that one. Flusterstorm. Energy Flux. Creep. So 1, 2. We're not there yet, but make a guy, make another guy. Non-creature spell. So hear me out. We could see what their hand is like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My thought here is I want to see their hand. It's a cheap way to do it, but I'm also scared of Energy Flux, so I might as well do it. See what they do about it. Hey, Steve, can you tell me, can you hear the music at all? Is it too soft? Is it too loud? What do you think? I'm trying something new with a little bit of music in the background. Okay. All right, so now the question is, all right, what do you think of the volume level? So we already have a grindstone. I don't think I want Pithy Needle. I think I'll get a Lotus Petal. Alright, well, those constructs are going to attack and kill next turn. No, they're not. Because I can't put another Lotus Petal in play. That's funny. Non-creature spells, you... Okay. Okay. My intent... I turned it up a little bit. My intent is that it doesn't cover up when I'm talking or anything like that, but it is there in the background. I was thinking I wanted more mana, but Needle probably was better overall. Alright, so I swing in, they take it, they go to 2. I play a Kappa Cannoneer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I am not allowed to force negation. Correction. I'm allowed to force negation, it just doesn't do anything. Alright, let's see how hard we can mill him. Yeah, this is the problem. Like, I've yielded to them. My question is, do I go to the point where I can... Doesn't the mill help me? How many have they milled now? Okay. They prevented the right amount. So the question is, like, do they just have Oracle? If they just have Oracle, then I just die. If they do it correctly. So I am going to wait. They did it wrong last time. That's why I feel like I'm okay. Yep. So, Steve, you're definitely right. I needed to go for Pithing Needle. I should have Pithing Needle. I'm writing it down that I should have Pithing Needle. So that one is definitely on me. All it would have done is maybe won a game, though. It doesn't win everything, but it's enough that, hey, get yourself the chance to play another game instead of just throwing it away. So, all right. Can we get ourselves a 3-2? Let's do it. I got a dog with me. I got 2 dogs with me. Hi, Lily. The dogs are cheering me on, and by cheering me on, I mean they're both laying on the ground behind my chair so that I would accidentally roll over him. All right, Arkan, again. Last time we played them, they were on a weird rug deck. Let us see what they are on this time. What do we got? We have a Painter's Servant and a Saga. So I'm going to keep. They've mulliganed to 6. I'm keeping on the strength of Saga turning into our kill condition. Not that that's necessarily great, but it is something we can do. Saga, turn 2, boom. I don't want to say uncounterable, but we could even Saga, next turn H2, make constructs. No, we still need to work on the Swish emotes. Oh, here comes Gristlebrand. Or I'm sorry, Gristlebrand is being evoked. Grief is being evoked, discarding Gristlebrand. Sorry that we're stumbling all over our words right now. This appears to be Reanimator. And it's probably a pretty good Reanimator. I think they kind of have to take the Soul Guide Lantern, though, right? Based on how everything else is coming for them. Well, you know what? I'm going to yield. You let me know when I can play. But pretty safe bet that it's Reanimator. Dark Ritual, Entomb, Reanimate. Those are a hell of a 7 cards. Bravo, sir. Bravo. So far, we don't even know what colors it is. Yeah, I mean, here's another one. Grief. Now we have lost our Painter Servant. So Urza Saga. Wait. 2 blue. Next turn, Ancient Tomb with the Lotus Petal. I almost had enough. Theoretically, if I had one more petal, I could Otawara the Gristlebrand away. But I'm not going to have it in time now. More grief coming. I'll tell you what, grief is exactly what it feels like. Inbound, 10 damage. Halfway there. This Menace? Menace. Little greedy. Well, I mean, what do they really have to worry about, though? I mean, what do you want me to say? Oh, we fooled them. We fooled them. Here comes the grief. You fool. I have no legal targets for that. I actually, as I'm saying that, I looked at my hand. I'm like, do I have legal targets? No, I do not have legal targets. So, I'll put myself to 8. Dark Ritual. Why don't you just Dark Ritual cast grief? You fool. You fool. None of this matters. Archon of Cruelty, that's a sweet one. I love Archon of Cruelty. Yeah, we're done here. Because 6 with the trigger, that kills me. Alright. Force of Negation kind of gets neutered by grief. That's brutal. Alright, cards I want. Surgical. Do I want Chalice? Yeah. I'll take Chalice. Now, I don't know if I necessarily want to help them with the Painter Servant Grindstone interaction. Maybe that's not the best. But Spell Bomb could be a thing. I think let's get a Brazen Borrower in. And then the question is, do I want some number of Force Negations? Some number. What about Pithy Needle? Pithy Needle, your Gristlebrand, makes it a lot less impressive. Shadow Spear could come out. Those two I want to keep. When Reanimator is doing its thing, Steve, it is very, very sick. Do I just not bring in Force Negation? Like, they're often going to have the Reanimate spell. I'm going to want to, like, Grief Grief is bad for me, but any of the thing they actually play to pick the creature up is negationable. Is Chalice of the Void not worthwhile? My thought is a Chalice on 1 can turn off so many of the things they do. Grief, it's like a pitch spell. The card you pitch, you have to exile, but the card it takes out of there, it's unmask. It's an unmask. It knocks a card, it discards a card from them, but you exile to pitch cast. I think on the play, I'm going to go for the Chalices, and if I'm lucky enough to have another one, we flip them to Force Negations. Let's try that. Just like we drew it up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. One, two, three. I mean, this is almost a turn 1 Kappa Cannoneer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we played Chalice on 0, technically this is a turn 1 Kappa Cannoneer. They have mulligan to 6. They have mulligan to 5. I'm liking this Chalice on 1 more and more. Okay. Chalice on 1. Now... Emery gives me a Mishra's Bauble, I guess. Is there any reason to play the Lotus Petal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think we just go for the Cannoneer next turn. All right. Well, that worked. So now the question is, the Chalices potentially did their job. The mulliganing to 5... Way to go, mulliganing to 5. But the bigger question is, okay, is Force of Negation... I don't think they have... the previous Thought Shift deck had Chalice, was it? Or was it Jeskai? Somebody put Chalice on 0 against us and definitely neutered what we could do. I think it was the Oracle player. So it's just the question here is, now that I'm on the back foot, do I want Force of Negations? I'm hedging my bet there. We'll see how it works. I want to be clever. Okay. I'm going to start with the... I'm keeping this. Because we have Surgical Extraction. Otherwise, we can go for a turn 1 Chalice. They mulligan to 5. I'm hoping as they mulligan down, they're less likely to have the Enabler and the Protection together. That's the best we can hope for. Mulliganing down to 4. Really important here that I use the Surgical before I Chalice it out on 1. So what do you think? Chalice on 1? Or I would like to surgical that. Oh, they ran away before we could finish. All right, that was the best of both worlds, is by playing the Chalice on 1, force them to respond with the Entomb effect, because, you know, say they have an Animate Dead or an Exhume or whatever instead. So they respond by putting the target in, and then we surgical the target away. Big brain plays, completely lucky, and there you go. So we ended up with a 3-2 out of that. Bravo. What would I change? So I already have changed the chalices, and I feel like I really enjoy that we put the chalices there. Things I want to mention to myself. Engineered explosives. I like engineered explosives. I've played it as a 0 when I've needed it to turn on a Mox Opal or something like that. The fact you have Lotus Petals and Mox Opals, sometimes you can get a little tricky and, you know, change the, I don't want to say chroma, sunburst value. But I've liked it in the past as putting it out there with one counter and being able to sweep away multiple 1-drops at the same time. It's definitely more relevant. It's a hedge against Blue-Red Delver because you can hit a couple 1-drops and things like that, but it's not always the greatest, but it definitely is something worth considering. Yeah, I had fun with this. This was pretty... I'm glad that I played this. I'm glad that I've given it a shot. And I think, because I'm starting to look longer term now, now it's still a long time away. Plenty of sets are going to come out before that. But I have the Missouri MTG event, and I have the Legacy Pit event coming up in September and October. So it's definitely fun. It's yeah, this is my style. I don't know what else to say. So thank you for joining me today. I always appreciate it. And if you are catching this later on YouTube, please comment and let me know what did I do wrong in sideboarding and what would you suggest to make some changes around. Please let me know. Otherwise, I want to say, is it Exploit Link? That's not the right term. All right. I was going to say, make sure you're following the channel if you aren't already. If you want to come join our Discord, we have a lot of discussion going on there, a bunch of different formats. Otherwise, you can catch Steven streaming earlier in the day. I stream in the evenings on Wednesday. But we really do appreciate having you around. Shout out to Mana Traders. Shout out to the Swish Gaming. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.